Okay, I am going to show you how I use PowerPoint to make worksheets like this one. All right, so I know that a lot of people like to use Microsoft Word to make different things like flyers and worksheets and stuff, but I think PowerPoint is a lot easier. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do. We're going to start with a brand new PowerPoint. You can do this on Google Slides. I prefer PowerPoint because that's how I use it the most, so that's what I'm going to show you, but it's the same idea on Google Slides. I'm going to go to File, New Presentation, and we're just going to start with a blank presentation. So I'm going to click off of the designer because I don't need that. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my slide the size that a piece of paper would be, so that if I print this off as a worksheet, it's going to look correct. So I'm going to go to Design, and I'll go over here to Slide Size. Now I'm going to choose Page Setup, and on this little drop down where it says Slide Size 4, I'm going to go to Letter Paper. On Google Slides, I'm not sure that this is an option, so you would just type in 8.5 by 11. And then you choose, do you want it to be portrait or landscape? I prefer portrait for this activity that we're going to do. It doesn't matter if you scale up or scale down. I'm just going to pick one because we're going to clear it out anyways. So now you see it changed the shape of the slide. And what this does is if you were to print this out as a worksheet, it's going to print it out in the correct format for you already. I'm going to delete everything on here. So I'm going to click this and hit delete, and then I'm going to highlight this and hit delete also. Now, the reason that I choose to use PowerPoint is because you can manipulate everything so much more easily. So we're going to make this worksheet or something similar. So I'm going to start with the box around the outside. I'm going to go to Insert, Shape, and I'm going to choose a square. So just going to draw the square. All right. I don't want this to be filled. I only want the outline. So under Shape, Fill, I'm going to go No Fill. And under this little part, if you hover on top of it, it will say Shape Outline. I'm going to click that I want it to be black, and I want it to be a little bit thicker. So I'm going to go to Weight, and I'm going to make it just a hair thicker. Okay. So now I've got my outline like I like it. Now I am going to insert a text box. So go to Insert and Text Box, and then you're going to just draw the size that you want. I'm going to type in Name. Now this automatically starts at something like 16 or something like that. So I'm going to highlight it and go to Home. And I'm going to choose, it starts at 18. I'm going to choose 14. We don't need it to be crazy big. I'm going to make my text box smaller because I am going to insert, shape, and line. This is because I want to have a line for them to write their name. You can also do date or anything else that you want them to put on there, class number, student ID, anything like that. Okay, now the line is highlighted. You can click on it, you can move it around. I'm going to put it right there. And then while it's still highlighted, I'm going to go up to Outline, and I want it to be black, and I'm okay with the width or the thickness of it. Now, remember, we're making this paper, so this outside box can't be as big as it is now. So I'm going to take it and shrink it down smaller. And I may have to play with that size later, and I can come back to it and manipulate it later. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to insert my boxes. So Insert, Shape, and a box. I'm going to draw a box about this big. And I do not want it to be filled. So I'm going to go Shape, Fill, No Fill. I want the outline to still be there. I want it to be black. And I think I want it just, I think that thickness is going to be fine. Okay. Now I want to have a text box to go in the middle. Remember, I'm making these boxes right here. So I'm going to go Insert and Text Box, and then I'm going to draw my text box. Now I'm going to show you later where to find fonts. I do not want a font that has the type A, like the book style A and that curved T, because if I'm making this for children, I want it to be more like block print. So I'm going to highlight that. And for right now, just for this, I'm going to choose a different font that I know makes it more like block lettering. And then I'm going to make it really big because I want it to fill up the whole space. Maybe even one more. Let's see. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to make it go in the middle. I want it centered. And now that I have this how I want it, I'm going to put my cursor here, and I'm going to click and just drag my cursor, and it's going to highlight everything inside that pink box, which will be my text box and my shape. I'm going to hit Control C to copy it and Control V to paste it. Now I'm going to drag these shapes here. All right, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to highlight everything inside the pink box, Control C and Control V. I'm going to drag them down. So now we can type hat, cat, bat, and mat. We're going to do @words. Oh, I need to make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so now we have @words. I might want to put directions in here. So if I do, I'm going to go Insert, Text Box, and draw my text box, and I'm going to type directions. Remember, it's going to start with, I think it's 18 fonts or 18 points, so we're going to go fix that. So directions, cut and paste the pictures, or how about cut the pictures and paste them beside the correct @word. All right, there we go. And this has got that funny font, so I would want to change my font on this too. For this demonstration, I'm just gonna keep moving, but I'm gonna highlight it and go to Home and make it smaller because there's no reason for the directions to be that big. Now, so we've done half of this, right? Now, for this box, I want these to be about the same size. So I'm just going to highlight just the box, not the whole thing. I'm just going to click on the box and hit Control C and Control V. All right. I want to do that 3 more times. So Control V once, twice, 3 times. And then I'm just going to move each box down and put them where I want them. I'm sorry that my birds are chirping. I have birds, and when I talk, they talk. Okay. All right, so there's my boxes. Now, I also want to put the boxes here that students would cut the picture out of. I don't want this box to be as big. Anytime I'm doing something where I'm gluing one shape inside of another, I want it to be a little bit smaller so that the students have room. So I'm going to put that here. And then I'm going to copy it and paste it so that I have a box for each one of these words. Now, I want them to know that they're going to need to cut this part out. So I'm going to insert a shape, and it's going to be a line. I want it to go all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom, and I want it to be black, so I'm going to go up here, make it black. I also want it to be thick, and I also want it to be dashed because that's typically how they know to cut. So we're going to our dashes, and we're going to make it dashed like that. So now they know that they're going to need to cut on that. So now I need a hat and a bat and a mat and a cat, right? All right, so let me go over to Google, and I'm going to type in hat. And at first, I'm just going to click enter. I'm going to go to images. Now, under images, I want clip art. You can also, this popped up transparent background, but I might click tools, and under tools, you can do under color, transparent background. So that means it's supposed to be something like this cat right here. See how the cat has no background to it? It's just the cat. But this bat, for example, has a white box around it. So the transparent is supposed to give you something like the cat. It doesn't always work. I put transparent on all of these and it did not work. But you can try. Okay, I like this one because it is just black and white. It doesn't have any color to it. It's a little bit blurry, so let me click on this one. I like this one better. And that one's even better. So I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click, not what I meant to do. I'm going to right click and I'm gonna copy the image, go back to my PowerPoint and Control V to paste it. Now I'm gonna resize the image, and this one's not transparent. It has the white background, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna resize it, and I want them to have to guess which one it is. So I'm gonna move it down so it's down there. Okay, now I need a bat. So let's go up here and we're gonna click bat, clip art. We're already under images and transparent pops up, so I'm gonna click that. I want something that they can color. So I might also type in black and white. Or I might put in outline. And there we go. I got a black and white outline that they can color. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click, copy, go to my presentation, Control V to paste. All right, so now I'm going to shrink that down and put it in one of the boxes. And now I need a mat. So let's go mat. We've got clip art, black and white, outline. Here we go. It's really more of a rug, but I think it'll work. I'm gonna right click, copy it, go to my PowerPoint, Control V to paste. Now, this has a lot of extra space on the sides. So I'm going to go up to picture format and crop. I see what it's doing. Okay, so do you see how both of these are highlighted? So when I moved them both, that's because when I went in, I forgot to unclick it. So I'm going to click over here so that it separates them. Click the one I want to format. Under picture format, I'm going to go crop. And then I'm going to move this in so that I can get more of my picture on the square without having all that extra space. All right, so now I'm going to make this really small so that it fits into my square. If I feel like, I really want to turn it, you can turn the picture. Maybe I want to make it catty-cornered. All right, so there's my mat. Now I need a cat. All right, we're going back to Google. We've got cat, clip art, black and white, outline. Sometimes the transparent will have this around it. Let's see what happens. So if I click copy and I go over here and I click Control V, nope, it did not give me the true transparent. That's what that means when you see that, those little squares, it's supposed to be transparent, but I'm not worried about it. I don't want it to be all over those. So let's see, let me see if I can find one without those little things. I think this one works just fine. I'm going to copy. You can also save the image. Sometimes when you copy and paste the image, it makes it kind of blurry, but we're using these for pretty small photos, so it's not going to really matter. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to shrink this down. Now you can see how you can use this for anything. You can make flyers, you can make worksheets for your college students, you can make worksheets for your students in preschool, in kindergarten, in high school. You can make pretty much anything with PowerPoint. So I'm going to show you how to save it. There's a couple things you can do. Number one, you can just save as is. All right, so I'm going to do example 2. So you can save as is. You can also you can save it as, or you're going to export it really as a photo. So if that works for you, you can export it as PDF or as JPEG. So sometimes you might want to have a photo or you might want to have a PDF, for example. If you're going to send this to somebody, they may not have the same fonts as you. If you're going to upload it onto Teacher Pay Teacher to sell, then you would want to do a PDF. Also, one really important note, if you upload it on Teacher Pay Teacher to sell, you are not going to want to use these photos that you got from Google. You really are going to want to use photos that you get from Teacher Pay Teacher. In the Teacher Pay Teacher video that I make for you, I'm going to talk about that. But for this video, I just wanted to show you the basics of how to make a worksheet. And all right, if you have any questions, you can email me, Rachel Hall, rachel@cpcc.edu if you are at Central Piedmont. If you are at CCCC, then you can email me at rhall, RHALL 613 @cccc.edu.